right, welcome to another edition of the Wallace Way Show. Today we're going to start our playoff primer with the NBA playoffs finally starting after a acrimonious regular season, a shortened regular season. Saw a lot of injuries, kind of terrible play, but we are at the playoffs time, and we all know your legacy in the NBA is attributed to your success in the playoffs. So let's just get it popping right now. I want to introduce a couple, three of my buddies and three of my esteemed guests. First, we have OTR Mike. He's a founding member of the OTR podcast. Please subscribe to that. Mike, how we doing today?
Good, man. Let's get it going.
All right. Then we have the Marble Man, Mr. Marble. How we doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. How's it going?
It's going good, brother. I need those picks coming in because I'm going to Vegas soon. I need to drop some money on this, all right? And last but not least, we have Mr. Alex, Mr. Lakers Central, amazing podcast, amazing Twitter feed. My brother's doing big things. I saw him on KTL a couple weeks back. He is a worldwide famous Lakers podcaster, and he's also my brother. So welcome, Mr. Alex. How we doing today, sir?
What's going on, man? Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Let's get it popping already. Let's go. Kwame Brown. No, I'm just joking. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about something. J. Cole. No, I'm just joking again. Forget that too. Let's go to the Eastern Conference playoffs. Let's start with Philly versus Indy/Washington. We don't know because it's playing game right now, but I don't think it really is going to matter. Who do you got, Alex? Philly versus Indy/Washington.
I mean, they're smoking anybody in the first round. I mean, assuming Embiid don't mess around to get hurt. I mean, Indy or Washington? Really? Getting lumped up.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What do you think, Mr. Marble?
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page. I mean, yeah, I honestly didn't even realize Washington was even going to have a chance after last night. But yeah, Indy versus Washington, and Indy was really feeling themselves. I mean, they were really feeling themselves playing Charlotte, and I was like, man, wow, okay.
It definitely was. That one dude who I forgot his name, but he had 39 points the whole season and had like 28 yesterday. He was feeling himself. Hope it's a contract here for that, brother.
Yeah.
What do you got, Mike?
If it's Indy, Philly is sweep. If it's Washington, they'll win 4-1.
But
competitive Washington will get one game. They'll get one game.
I respect that. I mean, see, Washington's one of those weird teams, especially since they're local and we watch them all the time.
I think with Westbrook, he can get you a game.
Yeah, I agree.
I see that.
And Bill being hurt though is very. If Bill was healthy, do you think Washington could push him to maybe 2 or 3?
No, I mean maybe Washington steals 2, maybe, but nah.
Yeah, maybe 2. And that, I mean, if Washington plays like they've been playing over the last month or so, with a healthy Bill, you could probably get 2. They could probably get 2 out of that.
Yeah. Okay. And then real quick though, ultimately, where do we see Philly? Because they're plus 700 right now, so I think they're about the 3rd or 4th best odds to win the championship. Where you guys? Is that a smart bet? Would you say?
I wouldn't bet on them to win a championship.
No.
Why is that?
Win the championship? Nah, they not winning the championship. You must be eating some semis tonight.
Eat Sean special. Let me get that. What do you think, Parker?
Nah, I mean, I think if they get there, I think they can give whoever makes it out of the West a run. I think it'll be a good series, but Embiid is the key. Obviously, we know that. So it's Embiid has never been a part of a long playoff run. So, I mean, the question would be how he would hold up if they did get there, and So I don't think they would. I wouldn't bet that they would win the championship.
All right, that's fair. All right, let's go to the next series. We got the Nets versus the Celtics. The Celtics won a nice game yesterday with Tatum dropping a 50-piece on the Wizards. What do you got, Mr. Marble? What's your take on the Nets Celtics?
Oh, the Nets. I mean, I feel like the Nets are just playing with people. I mean, I don't think if it is Harden and Durant and Kyrie all going to play. with the Nets, yeah, I just don't see anybody in the East honestly beating the Nets. If they're playing the big three, they just score at will. I mean, you can't stop them, in my opinion.
All right, fair. What do you got, Alex? Nets versus Celtics.
I mean, it should be a sweep, man. Like, even if the Celtics had Jaylen Brown and they were completely healthy, if the Nets are healthy, it should be a sweep. I mean, what Jada Kiss say? You can't bake a bean in Boston. I mean, it should be a sweep, man.
They playing with people.
You're throwing them Kiss 2001 lines out. What do you got, Mike? What's your take on Boston Celtics? Can the Celtics still win? Maybe?
Yeah, I think the Celtics can still look. I think the Celtics are that team. It depends on what Celtics teams show up, right? Because obviously they've been underachieving all season. So if they look anywhere close to how they looked last night, now of course Tatum had 50. So like it may take him score 50 for them to get one.
Right.
But I think they're one of those teams that, as a 7 seed, you might not want to see them. You know what I mean? Now I do think the Nets will run away with it, but it's one of those teams. It'll just be like, no, don't take no offense to this, Alex. Not quite on that level. But like it's like the Lakers. Nobody wants to see the Lakers as a 7 seed, a 7-8 seed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like Boston with that amount of talent, even with Jaylen Brown out, I think they still have enough talent to push a team. Now they got a bad draw with the Nets. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they could get one. I think they can get one.
All right.
At some point, you got to start discussing if Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge need to go.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Like at some point,
I agree
but
with you.
that's a conversation for another show. But at some point, like, come on.
Yeah. Well, now, but they have made the Eastern Conference Final 3 out of the last 4 years. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, but they were ascending, right? And now all of a sudden, the Bucks are better, the Nets are better, and Philly's better. Like, how does Boston leapfrog any of them to win a championship the next 2 or 3 years?
I think Miami might beat
There's Miami.
Milwaukee. And if they played it, are they playing Milwaukee in the first round?
Yeah, that's my next series.
Yeah.
Next series. No, but know what, Alex? That's a great point. We do got to discuss the Danny Ainge, Brad Stevenson marriage. All right, next series we got the Heat and Bucks. This is a repeat of last year's finals, right? This was the Eastern Conference Finals last year,
Yep.
I believe. And we all know that.
Nah.
No. Sorry, this was the second.
Oh, they beat him in the second round. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we all know the Heat won, and they made a nice run to the finals. Heat Bucks. Let's go. What do you think, Mr. Alex?
I'm going with the Heat, man. I mean, they seem like they knew what to do to Giannis and them last year. I mean, I know they added Drew this season, but like the Heat they're damn good in the playoffs, man. And Giannis puts up big numbers, but I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I don't trust him.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Mike. I think you kind of echo the same sentiment, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking offline. I said the same thing. I don't like. I told you before. I think Giannis is creating a class of his own. Right? He is a great player. He's a damn good player, and he'll go down as a Hall of Famer. But I don't know if he's that guy who's going to put you over the hump. Now he could be that piece for another team that will put another team over the hump. For example, all of the
James Harden.
Yeah, I mean all of the talk of him possibly signing with Golden State in this past offseason. If he would have made that move,
on a ring.
Yeah, that would have. I think that would have put Golden State in a especially with a healthy Clay too. Would have put them in a position to challenge for a championship. But I don't think he can bring a championship to Milwaukee. He's just not that guy.
Mr. Marble, set it off. What you think?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much on the same page. So it's funny. I don't know if you guys watched the Drake trans with Fat Joe recently, but he made a very interesting comment where he said DJ Khaled is the Quincy Jones of hip hop.
Yeah.
So I feel like
very, very interesting.
I feel like him saying that is like saying, the Greek Freak, right? Is like because people compare him to Shaq with dribble, and I'm like, no, that's
Yeah,
like
absurd.
Like, yeah, he's the most dominant player since Shaq, and I'm like, no, that kind of rings the same bell that it rings when somebody compares or mentions in the same sentence DJ Khaled
and
and Quincy Jones. Like,
We the best.
Like he's so dominant. Yeah, he's so dominant. But don't compare him to Shaq. Shaq literally like would come in there and especially in the playoffs, shoot 70%, dunk on everybody, average 35 points, 5 blocks, 15 rebounds. Like, come on. I mean,
Shaq's in a different world. Now, are we giving Greek too much? Like, the guy's a 2-time MVP. He's all NBA. His teams do they do relatively well.
Listen, last season there's no LeBron in the East and there's no Kawhi in the East. What was his excuse? Jimmy Butler? That's your excuse? No.
I mean, I think so. I think like
True.
I think we talked about this last year. I think we might have went on Lakers Central and discussed it if I'm not mistaken. But you know, I kept saying that the cuteness is wearing off for a certain tier of players, including Embiid, Giannis, and a couple other these James Harden, all of those guys. Like the cuteness is wearing off. Like now, you know, it was at first like, especially for Giannis and Embiid, it's like, oh, they young.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they gotta grow. They got these growing pains. Giannis won 2 MVPs. It's no more excuses. Yeah. Embiid, you got to get out of the first round, bro. Yeah. Like you have to lead this team on a playoff run. Like you're not young anymore. It's not cute anymore. Can't use that excuse anymore. And I think that's what's happening with Giannis now. Like I think, you 2-time MVP. Didn't he win Defensive Player of the Year too?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, no more.
You can't
excuses.
do any more on the individual level.
Right.
Like,
now it's time. Now it's time to make a run with this team and put them in position to possibly win a championship. And he's not showing that he could do that. He's a damn good player. I don't want to take that away from him, but when you need him to get you a bucket, with 25 seconds left, and you're in a half-court set, and you need a bucket, are you going to him, or do you feel comfortable with him having to create a shot at the top of the key?
No doubt. So all you guys are basically picking the Heat over the Bucks.
Yeah.
No. Now, with that said, I am picking the Bucks to win the series,
but they would play whatchamacallit in the second round, which they have another tough point if they get past the first round. Who would they play in the second?
When they play Philly?
No, they would play.
Let me take a look.
I don't think they'd get past the second round. I was looking actually. I can't remember.
No, the Bucks would play Brooklyn. If they won.
Yeah, they're not getting past the second round.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the 4-5 matchup, which is usually should be the most even matchup. We have the Knicks versus the Hawks, and I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't seen the Hawks play probably since Dominic's retirement. I don't know. I mean, I've seen the Knicks play on Sunday. I don't know. I'll leave it to I'll leave it to you guys. Mr. Marble, what do you got? Knicks versus the Hawks.
Knicks and 7.
Knicks and 7. Okay. Are you a Knicks fan, or do you like seen them play? Have you?
Well, Julius Randle, I feel like he's got the spirit of Kobe in him. Kobe gave him some tutelage on how to work out and get prepared for the season, and he really ran with that. I mean, I feel like he's a real star you can build around. Honestly, I feel he has that work ethic now, and he was always a baller,
Yeah,
so
right. Always talented.
I think he's going to try to show out in the playoffs. I think he's going to try to show out. And then in Atlanta is always like one of those kitschy teams to me. They always make the playoffs, and I feel like the Knicks, deserve to go to second round if they show up.
Yeah, no doubt. Mr. Alex, now I know with cousin Juju, as Laker fans, we remember him being drafted, broke his leg. And just grind it out. And we was kind of always keeping our eye on him because we knew he had talent, and he had some rough spots a little bit, but he's found his niche. So what do you have in this series, Hawks versus Knicks?
I mean, I haven't watched much of either of them, but I think the Knicks should win. New York fans are excited, so they should win. I mean, yeah, I got the Knicks winning, man.
Knicks, good stuff. Now, would you give Juju a max contract? Next question.
Yeah, he's earned it.
Okay.
And frankly, who else are the Knicks going to give a max contract to?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to spend it.
His back.
Yeah, I mean, like, Patrick Ewing's not walking through the door.
Well, he tried
He might
to
walk
during
through the door. They didn't know who he was.
he tried to during the Big East tournament, and they didn't know who he was.
All right, Mr. Mike, what do you got on the Knicks Hawks?
I think this is going to be the best series on the East side, in the Eastern Conference. I think the two young teams, so they're going to ball out.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with Marble. I think it'll go 6 or 7 games. But because of my one of my esteemed co-hosts, who is a Knicks fan, I am going to pick the Knicks for him. As a shout out to him. So I do think the Knicks should win this series. I think Juju, he is balling. He looks good. I don't know if it's just me, but his game is so awkward looking that when he shoots it, I think they ain't gonna miss it. Like every time I'm like, that shit's off. That shit's ugly as hell. And he hits it.
Yeah.
It's like his game is very, very awkward, but I mean, he's balling, man. He should be in the MVP consideration now. I'm talking about 5. If it's 5 choices, he should be 5.
He should be 5. Okay.
But his name should be there. So,
Respect that. No, Juju, like I said, just watching him from Kentucky to the Lakers. The thing about why he shoots so awkwardly, remember, he's not that big of a guy. He's only but 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". So he's got to kind of and he's not a leaper, so he's got to angle his shots, but it goes in. It goes in. So fair enough. All right, let's move over to the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We love the West Coast, right? Let's take it from the top. Phoenix. Now they're either going to play LA or the Golden State winner, and that game is coming on next hour or so. See, that game is tough to call because Golden State can beat. Well, they both can beat Phoenix, but I don't know. Who do you guys got? So Phoenix versus LA or Golden State. We'll start with Mike.
So first, let's start with the play-in game, right?
Okay.
Now, I think
you don't need to start the playing game. We know the outcome of the playing game.
The tournament, the NBA tournament.
So first of all, for this whole playing scenario, the NBA couldn't have asked for a better matchup. LeBron versus Steph, this was a wet dream for the NBA, right? Yeah. And I think I think Steph is that type of player that can will him to a win, right? In a 1-game scenario. I don't think it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna say the Lakers win tonight, and they're going to even if the Lakers lose tonight, they're not gonna lose 2 games, so they will be in the playoffs.
See, and to me, that's that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but to me, the positioning of it, who do they want to play more, Phoenix or Utah?
It doesn't. Neither one of those teams fighting the Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, Sean said it earlier. I don't think they care. I think what I found interesting, because my first question was, I think I asked you, Ood, I was like, yo, when the Lakers were poised to get that 6 seed, right? It looking like they could get the 6. And I asked you, I was like, yo, do the Lakers really want that? Because the Clippers were there, right?
The Clippers were ducking the Lakers.
But then what was interesting was on that last night, all of those teams were ducking the Lakers.
Denver and the Clippers, yo. They want no parts of the Lakers.
Yeah, they did. They didn't want any. And I was like, yo, I thought that was interesting. I'm thinking maybe the Lakers are going to you know what? Let's go ahead and get this 7 seed. Let's play in this playing tournament. Then we get Phoenix or Utah, right? But it ended up being the Clippers ducking them, which I'm like, yeah, that's not a good sign, and it's not a good start. Sorry, Clippers fan, but I don't think that's a good sign if your team is ducking.
Yeah, and you already have load management games and all that.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the Lakers. If the Lakers win, the Lakers in 5, right? And if Golden State wins, Golden State can beat either one of these teams as well.
I agree. I truly, I don't know if they could beat Utah. Utah's kind of a tough matchup for Golden State, but I think Golden State could beat Phoenix. Yeah, I have a
similar styles, man.
Yeah, and I'll take Steph over. I mean, the thing about Golden State, they're not a bad team; they're a young team, and that's a difference. Some teams are bad. Orlando's bad. Golden State's young, and they don't. With Wiseman being out, so. I don't know. What do you got, Marble? Phoenix or LA or Golden State?
I'm taking the field against Utah and Phoenix. I just don't trust either of those teams. I feel like, what's so funny? It's just like DNA, it's like historic DNA, like Phoenix. And I mean, even when Charles Barkley and Darren Marley and all them dudes, like Charles Barkley won an MVP, it was like because he was on Phoenix, I feel like it didn't work out. If he was on like if he was on Boston or Philly or
right.
that type of team, I feel like they would have the gumption to get it done. But I just feel like these teams are just historically whack in the playoffs. I mean, like Donovan Mitchell, I feel like he's a really good ball player. I feel like the one who's the one dating the Kardashian on Phoenix,
Devin Booker.
Yeah. So that alone for me, I mean, if she shows up to the playoff game, it's over. The only one I trust on that team is
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. That's the only one I trust on that team. And if Chris Paul wasn't on that team, they would probably be a 6 or 7. They'd probably be in the playing game, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. What do you got, Alex? Golden State. I mean, LA versus Phoenix versus LA or Golden State.
I mean, Lakers are getting past Golden State, and then once they see Phoenix is a good team, but they're young, man. And I mean, if the Lakers are healthy, and Frank said we're healthy coming into tonight, the Lakers are making out the West.
Yeah.
It's the health would be the only reason the Lakers don't win. So I got the Lakers over Phoenix.
Okay. Just a quick tidbit before we move on to the other games, other series. There's only one team in NBA history that has made it to the finals as a 7th seed. Quick, does anyone remember it?
Is it the Knicks?
Yeah, 98, 99.
Yeah. When Alex got all that money for like 10 years straight after he left the Knicks.
Yeah, when they beat the Heat, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, that's interesting. I mean, the 7th seed now. I mean, this year's still different. The 7th seed this year isn't a 7th seed. I don't know. It's just weird. But anyway, that is what it is. So then let's go to a good series. I think probably the best a good series to watch. Trailblazers versus Denver Nuggets. What do you got, Alex, on them?
You know what's crazy, man? Like, look, I don't know if Denver can get past Portland. I mean, what's his name? What's the boy name that's hurt? The young boy. I mean, look, he was huge for them in the playoffs last year. Dame can obviously get hot. It's the first round. I don't trust Jokic.
Here we go again. What don't you trust
Tell me how you really feel, Alex.
Go. Let me hear this, bro.
I think he may win MVP this season, and I mean that's because like LeBron and Embiid got hurt. But I mean, look, I don't trust him, man. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, you get to the playoffs, you do need a guy that can put the ball in the basket, and that's what Murray was for them. So I don't. I got more reasons why I don't trust Jokic.
Okay, let me ask you this then, bro. If you don't trust Jokic, what about Michael Porter Jr.? You talking about someone put the ball in the hole?
Michael Parker Jr. is a baller too.
He's a baller too, and he's left-handed.
I might trust Jokic more than Porter. I'm sorry.
Damn, why do Jokic hate Like, let's talk about this for a second. Like, some of this guy's numbers are just insane. Like, the analytics,
he's a baller.
level,
and he's shooting 40-some% from the three.
Yeah, he's putting up, and he's averaging
He's
like 7 assists.
Yeah.
Why haven't people gravitated towards him?
I kind of agree to that too. And this is going to be like a super dumbass reason, but when he gets I know he's tall as hell. When he gets rebounds, he gets no elevate. Like, he's just like he's like a flat jumper. I don't know. Everything like flat. Like, I don't know. I feel like when you narrow those rosters down in playoffs and stuff, and you start to like rub people the wrong way, and I don't know. I feel like he could melt in the playoffs.
Damn, what? This Jokic hate is real, man. Like,
you saw what the Lakers did to him last year. Yeah. Dwight and JaVale gave him the blues.
Yeah.
I mean, those are good defensive players, though. Like, those are all-timers. Well, I don't know if
well, I mean, look, Portland doesn't have anybody that can match up with him, so he should have a great series. I mean, can he keep it up?
or no? Or the Cantor's
Who?
on.
Is
No,
Cantor
Kanter's
hurt?
he's on Portland, but he can't fuck with Jokic.
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic. He's the best big in the West outside of Anthony Davis, but I don't know. I got Portland.
Got Portland. All right.
I got Portland in 5.
Wow, 5.
5.
Damn.
Damn, y'all. Okay. What you got, Mike? Damn, y'all.
So I think like I think Jokic is a good player. He's a damn good player, right? But it goes back to my cuteness argument. Like you could put up the numbers, it's time. We got to see something, right? So like you are probably the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go out like Willie Lump in the first round. You can't as the MVP. You cannot. And
I mean, the last one that did was Dirk, right? Some similarities there, right?
I mean, but
MVP season.
You're right.
7-footer.
Now, but then I will say though, when Dirk, that championship year, Dirk was a killer though.
He balled. Yeah.
He whipped Kobe's ass.
Yeah.
He whipped KD's ass. He whipped LeBron's ass. Sorry, that's it. In the books, one of the all-time greatest seasons.
He was
ever.
a killer. But at the same time, to go along with what Alex is saying, like, like that, we don't want to hear that. You the MVP. You are the MVP.
Yeah.
You have to. I know Jamal Murray isn't there. But this is your team. Like you have to be able, just like you said, okay. I think the Lakers did give the blueprint to how to stop them. And you said that they're all-time great defenders. Well, especially Dwight Howard, right? But you are the best, one of the best players on the floor. That's no excuse. To me, the best players on the floor are going to get a bucket no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't care who defended me. I'm gonna get a bucket, and that's what makes these players great. And I think that he showed that he was lacking that last year. I don't know. Maybe he'll prove us wrong in this series or this playoff. But I think that's why he catches some hate. You know what I mean? The numbers are cute, but then at the end of the day, it's like
cute. Okay. Have you seen his efficiency?
But money time is when we need that to be when we need you to be efficient.
Yeah. Yeah.
And money time last year, he wasn't there. I mean, Dwight completely took him out of the game.
And at this point, and even if Jokic plays out of his mind, so you trust Bobo and Will Barton and Paul Millsap? I mean, come on, man.
Don't sleep on Aaron Gordon,
Aaron Gordon.
It's like the one dude from Mavericks. He hits all the money shots.
Oh, we're gonna talk about him next. We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna get into him.
But I would take I'd take the field against him. I mean, I don't know. He just
No. Hold that thought, Marble. Let me get your last. You know what? Let's talk about Portland. Okay, so in this series, Marble, who do you have, Portland or the Nuggets?
Oh yeah, I would take Portland.
Portland. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's your take on Dame?
Well, my take on Dame is he's not a better rapper than Shaq. First of all, we're gonna start there. Second of all, I mean, he hits. He hits monster ass shots. He hits like he's definitely got that ice in his veins. Like he's got that mentality. But right. I feel like sometimes it's kind of funny because some players you get a sense they drink their own Kool-Aid, right? Like Michael Jordan and like Kobe and all this kind of stuff. They could be like bold and brash and all this kind of shit, but you never get that feeling like they drink their own Kool-Aid. They're like, even though like you could be like, yeah, they want to destroy everybody. Dame Lillard, he feels like he comes across like he's just way too into his own like shit.
He's feeling himself, huh?
The validation, where other great players don't need that validation.
It's fun. You know what? That's interesting you say that. And I pick up on that, but you got to also remember, he went to Weber State.
Yeah,
where the fuck is Weber State?
But I think Steph went to Davidson, and I don't get that impression from Steph Curry. Like Steph went to Davidson, and what you call it, Kawhi went to fucking whatever.
San
Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego State.
I think that's one of the reasons Dame kind of gets a pass, right? Because he went to a small school. Like at some point, like Mike said earlier, cuteness wears off of him too.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's loyal to a small market, so like people don't really get on him. But at some point, you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, me personally, I love Dame, and
He's a baller.
I do give Dame a pass because I feel like he
More
you know
reliable than Kyrie.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
You mean to show up? You
Well,
mean to show
final?
up to work
Yeah.
or just on the court?
Kyrie selling incense. Chill. He on 7th Street selling incense right now.
But yo, you know what? But I think Dame, I think what's going to kill Dame is what I said is when we talked about this again last year too on the bubble with Giannis, how we were saying foreign-born players, their loyalty is they die by that sword that they came in on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dame's loyalty is going to end up killing him eventually because Portland isn't doing anything to put a team around him.
No. They're hamstrung too because he's making $50 million next season.
Yeah.
Well, and Paul Allen passed away, so his sister owns the team now. So I don't know if she's willing to spend the same money that Paul Allen was. So
yeah, I agree. She probably don't even show up to the owners' meetings. She don't know what's going on.
But at the end of the day, I think Dame is a killer.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's what I'm saying. He got ice in his veins, but I feel like sometimes it's like you could just get that sense he's feeling himself. I don't know. I feel like
that's a great point. That's a great point, Marvel.
Rapping. I mean, because when Shaq did it, it was like Shaq was doing the rapping and all that, but it was like I don't know. He was like dunking. I mean,
he was killing motherfuckers.
He was he gone to the finals, but when Dame is rapping, it's like, dude, like put the mic down right now. Like,
you
don't need validation.
That boy got bars.
You know what it is with Dame as well. Like Alex said, and I think you said it too. Like you're small school guy, but look how many times Dame got passed over for like all-star team.
Mm-hmm.
So he feels like he got to be the one that ride his own coattail because nobody else is. He not getting that respect he feel he should get.
I agree. It's interesting. It's interesting, but I do kind of. I don't know. Fuck it. I'm gonna go say Nuggets in 7.
Oh,
Portland playing good right now though, so I'm gonna go Portland in 7.
Portland in 7. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah, Portland's 8-2 in his last 9 games. So the last 10 games.
Yeah, they always put it together. All right, last series of the night that we're going to cover is Mavs versus Clips, and let's start on your rant, Mr. Marble, with why you're not a Luka lover.
So, it's just like one of those things with the eye test, right? Like you get a sense, right? Like he's got skills. He definitely has skills, and he's probably gonna get the MVP, and probably well deserved. But it's certain things in the playoffs, like the flat-footedness and the whole like you jumping 3 inches off the ground and getting rebounds.
Wait, you talking about Jokic or Luka?
Oh, Luka. Oh, no.
I'm talking about Luka. Yeah. Luka.
So no, Luka's a beat. Oh no, Luka hits the tough shot. So Luka. Oh, I'm going with Luka. Like Luka hits the clutch shots. I mean, he's one of those ones that like doesn't like to shoot around, but like he wants to be in the game, crunch time, and take that shot, and he'll hit it. But in shoot arounds, he's probably just like shooting nonsense, and those same shots are just like going all over the place. But in crunch time, there's probably not too many players. There's probably a handful of players I'd go outside of Luka if it was like 5 seconds or less left.
I agree. I'm gonna go and say, to me, Luka's the most fun player to watch in the NBA.
He is fun, yeah.
I just the shit that he does, man. These 30-foot bombs and the way he goes to the rim. He's just my favorite player in the NBA to watch. I think he has some flaws in the style, the way he plays. I think he complains too much. I think he's a whiner. But goddamn, he's so fun to watch, man. He is insanely watching. In this series, the Mavs versus Clips, the Clips are only plus 500 to win the championship, which is like I think second or third in the whole league. I don't like watching them play. Yeah, I don't get anything from them. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't think they have a championship caliber team. That's not to say if the cookie crumbles the right way, could they get to the finals? Yeah, sure they could. I don't see it. I'm not feeling it. What do you got, Alex, on the Mavs versus the Clippers?
I mean, so I think Luka is just James Harden with no melanin. He's a great player. And look, and to be fair, to be fair, Luka, he burnt up the Clippers last season. I mean, last year in the playoffs. He averaged 31, 10, and 9. And for the Clippers to have Paul George and Kawhi, the two of the best defensive wings in the league, they couldn't do nothing with them. Yeah. So Porzingis is healthy this year. Look, I believe in basketball karma, and I think by the Clippers trying to dodge the Lakers, they might have fell into a team that isn't afraid of them. Right. And Luka's hot. They can't stop Luka, and if Porzingis can last this entire series, I can see them beating the Clippers, man.
I like that. That's a good bet. That would be a really good bet to take. Mm-hmm. What do you got, Mike, on this series?
Yeah, I mean, Alex said a lot of the same things that I feel about this series. I feel like Luka is a Clipper killer. Mm-hmm. And he showed it. He showed it last playoff. He showed it throughout this season. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if he got it to put on his back, this year. I think the Clippers, they're well coached. I think adding Rondo to that team has made them better because I think that's what they were missing, like a legit point guard.
Yep.
Pat Beverly wasn't it. Pat Beverly has a role on this team, but
he just barks.
To be their main playmaker is not.
That in his game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do think the Clippers will get past Dallas in this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas pulled this off. Like Alex said, I think there is a certain karma in ducking a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think first of all that team might in that locker room are probably taking that shit to heart. Yo, hold up. So they ducked them to get to us.
Y'all disrespecting us like that.
Like we didn't beat them last year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I think the Clippers will make a run this year. I think it's time for them to step up. So I think I got the Clippers in this one.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's gonna be a really good series. Like I said, I just love watching fucking Luka play. He's insanely entertaining to watch. So, you know what, fellas? Thank you so much. That was our first round of the NBA primer. Would you guys welcome to do a round two when all this clears up in about 2 weeks?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it again. Thank you guys so much. You guys want to plug anything popping, anything you want to rant about before we go? What about you, Mr. Marble? How do you feel about LaMelo Ball spending $10 million on a shady mansion?
Well, you know what's funny? Being in DC real estate, I'm like, damn, it just made me realize how much you can buy for $10 million. I'm like, yo, is indoor pool, outdoor? He put 8,000 square foot basement. I'm like, whew, man, you could get, for $10 million. I've seen $3 million condos. I'm like, for like 4,500 square feet, and I'm looking at this. He's got an 8,000 square foot basement. So more power to it. But the one thing that I didn't like was he bought chains for his dog. So I understand.
Wait, he brought what?
He brought these gold diamond chains or whatever for his dogs. So he spent like $150,000. So look, I get it. You have money. I understand, right? You got a lot of money. You can buy dumb shit. I get that. But when you start equipping a dog with a 6-figure chain, to me, that's when you've gone too far. I'm sorry. Because first of all, the dog don't know shit from shit. Like, at least give a $100,000 chain to somebody. At least, even if it was like a kid, a 7-year-old, like my son's 7. If I gave him a $100,000 chain, he probably lose it, but he probably still know. God, oh, daddy,
That's nice.
But you buy this for a dog, and then you bought grills, and I'm like, man, why can't you just be prim and proper and rich? Why does it have to be this thug element to it? Like I gotta have gold fronts. Why? You're driving a Bentley. Like, why do you have gold fronts? Like, where do you go with gold fronts?
If I'm his brother Jello, I'm mad. If I ain't get $100,000 chain, I'm mad.
Jello had a chance. Jello had a shot. He couldn't hit a jump shot. That's on him.
You gonna buy your dog $100,000 chain, not me?
Yeah.
Like
Jello was
I'm
still in
upset.
Gucci over in London.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah, he was in China
even
still
worse.
with
He was doing shit in China. Lucky his ass got back to the
Wasn't it
States.
sunglasses?
Yeah, he stole some sunglasses in China. And he lucky his ass is back in America.
Seriously. But
So
lucky
hold up.
that didn't happen with COVID.
So Melo bought a new crib.
He brought
I
a new
thought
mansion and
I thought he just bought Cam's condo.
Man, he brought that and he brought like this big ass house like
Yeah.
30 minutes out in Charlotte right next to
Jordan
Michael
told him to
Jordan's.
get it.
Yeah, Jordan told him.
Wow.
See, and that's one thing. Listen. We all love Jordan, but he's a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's what Antoine Walker said. He lost a lot of his money trying to keep up with Mike at the tables.
Exactly. And you can't Melo being 20, isn't even 20 yet. I don't even know. He's like a kid. Him hanging around Jordan and like kind of being in Jordan's orbit.
But Melo not gonna run it. He's not. He's gonna clearly he's gonna be a superstar. Like he's gonna be in the league at least a decade, barring a major injury.
Yeah.
So
He gonna be lending Lonzo money and his dad probably.
Chill. Lonzo coming up with a big deal. Yo, I heard 5 years, 120 mil. I heard that's what Rich Paul said.
What?
Yes.
5 years, 120 mil for the dude that played with Zeke, Zion.
Yeah. Lonzo, man, he's
120 mil. Yeah, I'm in the wrong bit. Yeah, I'm getting back on the courts, dog. I'm about to hit Equinox. Yo, y'all check for me.
It's gonna take you 2 weeks to get in shape, yo.
I just need to pass good.
Mess. All right, fellas, let's do this again in 2 weeks. Love you guys. Thank you guys for coming on and enjoy the NBA playoffs, everybody. Peace.
All right.
Peace.